This is my daughter, Joe. Say hi, Joe.
Hi.
All right. So thank you, everybody. I appreciate everybody being part of this workshop today. Now, before we get started, yesterday we went into the mechanism of stress, what happens during stress. Here, Joe, take a seat. And I figured that during these times that we could spend more time with the children, I figured Jolene and I could do the Tibetan 5 rites together. But before we start there, I was reflecting on a travel I did about 3 years ago. I went to, remember when I went to Germany?
Mm-hmm.
I went to Germany to study some advanced pulse taking for Chinese neurology. And when I was there, there's a lot of downtime. So I decided I read a book called As a Man Thinketh by Viktor Frankl way back in the day. And he was an Auschwitz survivor. And coming from a Jewish background in my household, when I was out in Germany, I wanted to go check out some concentration camps. And I thought that this would be relevant to the point in time that we're in right now because of the stress response we're all under. And so I go to not Auschwitz, but a different concentration camp. And I remember taking the train on the way there, and it'd be the same train tracks that the Jews took to go to the concentration camp. I remember the feeling I felt when I got there. And it was in March, so it wasn't dead winter, but it was still well into the 30s and 40s. And as I walked through the concentration camps and I saw the living quarters, and I reflected on a book by Viktor Frankl, The Meaning of Life, I think it was. Man's Search for Meaning, that's what it was. Man's Search for Meaning. And as the tour guide was explaining what the Jews wore, but basically what they wore were like T-shirts and like shorts. That's all they had. And they were out in the middle of winter, and the people that did not go off and do, because they worked in a sneaker company, a shoe company, the Jews. But if they had work, and if they didn't have work, they had to stand in one spot in a big courtyard. And if you fell down or collapsed, you were either killed or beaten. And it had to be probably in the teens at that time, in like January, February, back in World War II. And I remember walking around freezing because it's only in the 40s, and I'm so cold. And it just was so surreal, the whole entire situation. And I remember going to where they experimented on the Jews as well. They had this slab. I remember it's a green table, and it was tiles. It was a green tile table, tiles all over the place. It was completely green. I remember sitting there and just moved, thinking how small my life has been up until that point. And then I started thinking about the people that did survive. And I reflected on a book that Viktor Frankl wrote. And he was in the camp itself in Auschwitz, like I said, and he survived. And several other men survived. And he became a neurologist and a psychiatrist. And he wrote the book, Man's Search for Meaning. And what he talked about was the people that actually survived had a mental outlook that was different than the people that did not survive. So it's reflective to today. Like if you think about it, the people that are really stressed right now, the possibility of people losing jobs, opportunities that are passing in our community, people getting sick, all those stressors, they add up over time, right? So what Victor wrote about was the people that actually focused on a future as if they thought about, like he envisioned himself becoming a teacher and presenting to students and really changing and transforming the world and using his past experiences to be able to teach. And so every day he woke up and he thought about that. Every day that he was beaten, he thought about that. Every day he was out in the cold, standing and freezing, he thought about that. And the people that actually survived at that time in the concentration camps were the ones that actually thought about a future as if they were alive, a future as if they were thriving, a future as if. And if you ever heard me present in the past, I'm always talking about in order for our lives to change, we must change. And right now is the best time for us to be creative and think how we want our lives to be in the future. Because if we think about the fear of the future, or we think about the worry of the future, or we have remorse or regret of the past, or we have anger of the past, we're never going to be present. And so what we need to do is become more cognizant of our thoughts, I found myself for the past couple of days having a lot of anxiety, along with everybody, I'm sure, because you watch the media, you watch the news, and you're seeing that the virus has spread and people are getting sick and sicker, and some people are dying, right? So there's a lot of fear here, all right? So the fear, we have to learn to be able to understand that things are reality, but not let fear control us. And it took me till today to really, I think after our workshop yesterday, I went back to working on my foundations and spending more time with myself and reading more books versus watching TV. And I stayed off the media. I felt a lot better moving into today. And then I reflected on my experiences and thinking about Viktor Frankl and thinking about his book. So it's a very important book for, I think, everybody to read. A Man's Search for Meaning. I think that's going to put a lot into perspective, especially when we have uncertain times right now. And in life, we either have certainty or uncertainty. And right now, as of life is right now, we're uncertain. So the only thing that we can control is ourselves right now. That's it. We can't control outside of ourselves. And so hence why I'm putting together these workshops to hopefully inspire change and also provide value so that you guys could actually start building your health from the inside out. I'm hoping by the time the pandemic ends and we're able to really go back to normalcy, we're going to actually leave or live in an environment that we're much healthier than we were before. So let's create a strategy starting today that will think about being healthier, thinking about a future that we want to have. Right, Joe? I mean, some of the assignments I give Jolene over the summer, and this is something that I would highly suggest for you, children, if you're not doing it, is that I pick books for her. I pick like As a Man Thinketh, Think and Grow Rich, The Secret, A Man's Search for Meaning. Those are all books that, What the Bleep Do You Know, that I want my daughter to read so that she's thinking about possibilities, the law of attraction. So I pay her to write essays for me. So she would write an essay and present the essay to us, my wife and I want to create a consciousness of possibility in her mind so that no matter what happens in the future, whether we get knocked down, just make sure you land on your back. So if you could see it, if you get up, you get up, right? So that's what I want to teach my daughter, and hopefully we can teach our children that as well. All right. So without further ado, let's talk about the Tibetan 5 rites. So this is a 2,500-year-old tradition. That the legend is it was practiced by the Tibetan monks. And the Tibetan monks, they would do these only simple 5 exercises. And they also practice fasting, which is a different topic, which we'll probably go into at a later date. But they would practice fasting, certain herbs, and certain teas they would drink, like green tea has lotiful polyphenols, which are really important for autophagy, which actually prolongs our life. And autophagy just means self-eating. So the not so healthy cells inside our bodies, they're eaten first. And then we use them as a fuel source within our own body to create new proteins and new DNA and new healthy cells, like the mitochondria inside our cells. And so these monks would practice this type of meditation. And it's very similar to yoga. And I think it has its roots in yoga as well. But it's 5 simple exercises that you can do every single day. And it's supposed to actually balance the chakras. And so we have 7 chakras. And these 7 chakras actually correlate or correspond to the endocrine glands inside our body. So if we take a Vedic tradition and overlap it with Western medicine, the chakras are the endocrine system. So this is actually a strategy for us to actually balance our hormones naturally. Increasing growth hormone, regulating hormone cycles, sleep-wake cycles. And if we could balance these sleep-wake cycles, we actually aid in repair and recovery inside our bodies. Okay, so we're going to go into that in a few minutes. Also, some of these postures elongate what's known as the abdominal aorta. And what they found with the studies with stretching through yoga practices, one of the reasons why it has such a huge effect on people, not just the breathing side and the mindfulness side, but it also has a stretch reflex inside the abdominal aorta, which actually increases blood flow throughout the whole entire body. All right. So if you guys are watching, please like and share it with your friends and family. Let's try to make an impact on your world. Thank you so much for joining. There's a lot of people on right now, so thank you so much for sharing this information. And so when we stretch the abdominal aorta, we actually increase blood flow to the upper and lower extremities, which allows your heart to pump easier, if you think about it. So there's less resistance, less peripheral resistance for your heart to pump. So this is a strategy to not only decrease stress, balance hormones, but improve the cardiovascular system. And over time, with repetitive use, you could actually balance your blood pressure and lower your heart rate. All right, so we are about 10 minutes in. The practice only takes 3 to 5 minutes. And it's 5 exercises, like I said, and you're only doing 3 reps of the 5 exercises. So today we're going to start with 3 reps. And every week we add 2 reps to each exercise, so that over time we build up to 21 reps. And we stop at 21, we don't go above 21. I don't know why. I think that's just what they found over 2,500-year tradition, that all you need to do is 21 reps. Just be mindful of doing these exercises, like starting off with 21. I remember the first time I tried that, because I'm stupid at times. If you know me personally, I'm like, you give me a rope and I think I'm a cowboy, right? And so I just overcooked my grits, and I got really, really, really sore. Start with 3, build up to 5, and then 7 every single week. And what we're going to be doing over the next few weeks is we're going to do these classes daily. And I'll have some nutritional advice in these programs. I'll have some movement advice in these programs. And if there's anything that you want me to add, if you want me to do some corrective exercise, performance conditioning, exercise circuits, we could add that as well. I know Jolene and I have been working out together almost every day since we've been trapped home. So it's something you could do with your family at home during this time. All right, so before I start, let me read some of the comments and see if there's any questions. Anybody in the audience, any questions before we start? All right, looks like nothing right now. All right, so let's rock and roll. You ready, Joe? Mm-hmm. All right, instead of getting into position, let me step over here a little bit. By the way, welcome to my home gym. So from here, 1, 2, 3, and then arms down. This is pause. Close your eyes, place your palms up, and take 3 deep breaths in. In through your nose, out through your mouth, almost like you're blowing out a candle. In from your nose, out from your mouth, blowing out the candle. Already, I feel more relaxed. All right, so next position, you lie on the ground. Now, from here, there's a couple modifications. Jolene's going to do modifications, so Joe, you're going to do with your knees bent. I'm going to do the traditional way. Let me lower the camera a little bit. All right, so we're good. All right. Hi, Jill, how are you? Now from here, arms to your side. You're going to exhale. Inhale. As you inhale, your legs are going to come up. So let's take a breath in together. Exhale. Legs come up. And if you look at Jolene, see how she bent her knees and come back down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale back down. Exhale. Inhale. Back down. Okay, so say this bothers your back. What I want you to do is bend one knee up, and then you're just going to go inhale. Joe's going to go one knee up. Exhale. Same thing now, just with one leg. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And back down. Now switch legs. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Now straighten your legs, palms up, and take 3 deep breaths in. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. exhale. Doing good. You guys are all doing great at home. Way to go. So now, say you can't lie on your back. You can do this in a chair. So you're sitting in a chair and you're raising one leg up. Inhale, exhale. Okay? Same thing, other leg. Now, say you have pain raising your leg up. Use your imagination. So actually imagine yourself doing it and practicing the deep breath. All right, the next position. So this is position number 3. Position 1 was standing up, spinning to the right 3 times. Position 2 is lying on your back, raising your legs up. Or in a chair, eyes closed. Next one, I'm going to come up and kneeling. Now, if you can't kneel, do it in sitting. Now from here, we're going to place your hands on your back. Now we're going to inhale. Exhale. Inhale again. Exhale. Inhale again. And exhale. So you see how this is opening up all the organ systems in the front, right? When we're lying on our back, it's opening up all the organ systems in the back, right? So in Chinese medicine, we have the Du channel, which runs the back part of the body, and then we have the front vessel called the conception vessel. These 2 vessels communicate with each other, and they're powerhouses inside the body. So what we're doing is stretching out that vessel, which is basically the abdominal aorta, but we're also stretching out all the meridians that pass through the whole entire front and back part of the body. All right, so that's the 3rd one. Now, just hang out here, palms up, inhale. Exhale, 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Good. All right, everybody's doing great. So next one I'm going to do, I'm going to sit up like this. Now, again, if you can't get on the floor, do this on a chair. Not a big deal. I want your palms on the ground, fingers facing this way. From here, if you can't pull the toes up, I'm pretty tight, so it's tough for me. So is my daughter. So, but you might have more flexibility than we do. Try to keep the chest up as nice tall as you can, palms down. From here, bend your knees up. Now we're going to bridge. We're going to lift our butt up in the air, feet are facing forward, try not to turn the toes out. The heel is going to stay down. You're going to inhale. And exhale. 1. Now, if your hamstrings are really tight, you can bend your knees up a little bit. So, Joe, let's have you do the variation. Bend your knees just a little bit. Good. All right, so I'm going to do the knees straight. Now from here, bend the knees. Inhale. And exhale. Very good. Bend the knees again. Inhale. And exhale. Chest up. Now from here, if you're tight in this position, bend the knees up just a little bit, and then take 3 deep breaths in. And exhale. Oh, good. You guys doing good? I know you're killing it at home. I know you're killing it. Please like and share as well, okay? Let's get a whole entire community around us involved in this. All right, so next position. Now, if you have difficulty moving through the spine, I'll show you what this is going to look like, and then I'll show Joe will do a variation of it. But with this is where it differs from yoga a little bit. The toes will be up. Down, inhale. Exhale. So that's what we're going to do. But Joe, I'm going to have you do this. You can be in all fours. Now, if you can't get on the floor, you can do this in sitting as well, or close your eyes and use your imagination. Inhale, look up. Exhale, look down. Joe, look at my spine. So I'm rolling my spine. There you go. Now inhale. Arch the spine, yep. And then exhale. Good. Inhale again. And exhale. All right, so let's do this all together. Ready? If you need to tweak or modify, do what Jolene's doing. If you feel risque, you can do what I'm doing. Ready? So just 3 reps. We're going to start with an inhale down. Exhale up. Inhale down. Exhale up. Inhale down. And exhale up. Good. So let's lie back on our backs. I'm going to let the chi, let the energy circulate, line your back, palms up. Take deep breaths in, deep breaths out. And just notice what you notice. Feel what you feel. Some of you might be out of breath, and that's okay, because it is actually a workout. Some of you feel like pulsing into your hands or into your feet. That's the chi flow, the energy flow. Some of you might just feel really relaxed and really calm. Some of you probably didn't like it. That's okay. The more you do it, the easier it's going to be. Just deep breaths in. And exhale. Deep breaths in. And exhale. Inhale again. And exhale. All right, everybody sit up, almost fell asleep. How'd you feel? Come closer. Share your experience with everybody. How'd you feel?
Relaxed.
Yeah. Is it tough?
No.
No? All right. I appreciate everybody. Now, gratitude is latitude. I think I might have mentioned that yesterday. And especially with the stress in this time, we need to be able to help each other. And by us helping each other, we feel better. And I just want to say thank you, everybody, for being part of this education class. And thank you so much for sharing it with your friends and loved ones. We have another one coming in at 3 o'clock. We're going to take a little break now. And at 3 o'clock, we're going to do something known as tongue ren tapping. This is Chinese energy medicine. And we're going to be tapping on certain acupuncture points. Now, this becomes a representation of you. And it's going to be very, very relaxing. And I want us all to partake in this. If you could join me, please let your friends and family know about it so that we could actually start sharing this and help serve more and more and more people. Before I go, any comments or questions? So we start with 3 reps, and then as time goes on every week, we add 2 reps to it, and we build up to 21 repetitions. Now, if there's any pain, just modify or tweak it. Right? Don't go as high. Do it in a chair. Just modify and tweak it so that you don't have pain. You could also do it with your imagination. You could close your eyes and imagine the same movements, but you do it inside your mind's eye because the body can't delineate whether it's real, actually performing it, or not. So this week, start with 3. Next week, go to 5. The following week, go to 7 and build up. Next week, I'm still going to do 3 because I'm going to have a lot more new people still coming on. But then once you understand and learn the movement patterns, you can easily practice this on a daily basis and go at your own pace. All right. And if you have any questions on Facebook, if you're not on Facebook and you're watching on YouTube Live, our Facebook is Kinetic Rehab Spine. You can always ask questions on Facebook so that we can answer them as quickly as possible. All right. Will this be posted as a video on your Facebook? Yes, it will be. It'll be posted on Facebook within the hour, most likely. If not, within 2 hours. Yes. All right. It is 2:30. Let's wrap it up. I'll see everybody back at 3 o'clock for the Chinese energy medicine tongue ren healing session. All right. All the best, everybody. Be safe. Be well. Be happy. What is that?